Around about the mid-90s, I went round to a friend's house because he'd just got his hands on a new Sega Mega Drive. Up to this point, all I'd been accustomed to was my own Sega Master System, so this was a big deal. The first chance to get my hands on the next generation console. We enjoyed the now classics of Desert Strike and Road Rash 2, and then we moved on to the must-have game for any Sega owner, Sonic 2. My mate blew the cartridge, popped it in the console, and fired it up. "That's not Sonic 2, I said. "Sonic 2 goes..." Doesn't go... What you've got there, that's some cheap knockoff, a fake. You've been ripped off with a Sonic imposter. Back then, I didn't know anything about bits and blast processing, or what Sega does, what Nintendo don't. I just knew Sonic was a game on the Master System. With the coming of the next generations of consoles, the 16-bit era, came new, better, faster and expanded games. And with the Mega Drive being the successor to the Master System, it was only right that it carried on the legacy left by the original Sonic on Master System. The Mega Drive even had its own remaster of the original game, but rather than remaster a second game, Sega took the bold move of making two completely separate games. We're all familiar with Sonic 2 on the Mega Drive, but no one believes me when I tell them that the Master System Sonic 2 was totally different. In the Mega Drive version, Sonic and Tails battle through the different level environments, freeing animals captured and enslaved by the evil Dr. Robotnik, who's hell-bent on world domination. But the Master System version sees Tails captured before the game even begins, and you, playing as Sonic, must fight through the game to rescue him. But if you ever play this game, you might notice the anomaly of the zone intro cards. It shows Sonic and Tails together on all zones, but Tails is kidnapped before the game starts. This makes me wonder if Tails was originally supposed to be accompanying Sonic, like on the Mega Drive version, but perhaps the limitations of the Master System prevented it, so they had to change the story. Who knows? The first zone is set above and inside underground mines and contains the usual dangers of critters that attack you, spikes, and it wouldn't be an 8-bit mine without the old lava pit shooting out flaming balls of magma for you to smash into and lose all your rings. On that point, I love the sound effects in the Master System version. I think Sega pulled out all of the stops to make the 8-bit counterpart look and sound comparable to the Mega Drive version and push the Master System to its limits. You also get to travel in a minecart in certain sections, and this vehicle theme carries across the other zones too. Of course, Dr. Robotnik makes an appearance in the boss battles at the end of the zone, and once you defeat him, you hit this floating Robotnik craft that frees all of the captured critters. The next zone takes you above the clouds in Sky High Zone. It's rinse and repeat from here on in really, as with all Sonic games. Bounce on this, jump on that, and collect rings. This zone again features a vehicle in the form of a glider, which at first is tricky to control, but once you realise you have to tap the left on the D-pad to help Sonic glide, it's plain sailing. This zone also has updrafts that take you higher and higher whilst gliding, which can help if you're speedrunning the levels. This time in the boss battle, you face up against a robot Goosehead that fires balls of fire at you. Just smack it on the head and avoid the back. Then, a dreaded water zone, Aqua Lake. I always try to stay above the water as much as possible on these levels, as you slow down to a crawl when you're in the wet stuff, and air bubbles can be hard to find. You can also use air bubbles to float up to the different platforms, but the bubbles can pop on arrows and spikes and other hazards. Then it's the familiar sight of the grass and mountains of the Green Hill Zone. We all know how Green Hill Zones go, as they are featured in pretty much every Sonic game. Then it's Gimmick Mountain, which is like a sci-fi/industrial zone, full of conveyor belts, carousels and moving floors. Then comes the psychedelic colours and tubes of the Scrambled Egg Zone. The tubes work as the same as they do in the Chemical Plant Zone on the Mega Drive version, and that is a slightly common theme of the Master System version. They share fleeting moments of similarity, which helps the Master System version level up a little to its successor. This is where we meet Metal Sonic in the boss battle. He moves in much the same way as he does in the final level of the Mega Drive version, but much faster than the bright blocks of Crystal Egg Zone. Just realised how vain this Robotnik guy is. His face is everywhere on this zone. He's also crazy, if you think about it really. This is the final zone, and at last we get to go head to head with Dr. Robotnik in his weird lightning chamber, where your only defence is to use the surrounding tubes to avoid the lightning and the electricity balls. But once defeated, he runs off to his transporter and he escapes, but returns Tails to you. We're then treated to the credits with Sonic and Tails running along the green grass of the weird world that they live in. And once the credits are finished, they both stop, look up and see their faces in the sky amongst the stars. Simple this game may be, it is difficult and challenging in places, and I would say it does give the Mega Drive version a run for its money. The Mega Drive was the glitz and the glamour of the 16 bits, so that meant the Master System had to push the limits to compete, and I think the Master System blew other 8-bit consoles out of the water. Sonic 2 on the Master System is a prime example of substance over style, and although forgotten by many, it's still loved by some.